Hey everybody, it's December 30th, 2025. It is, someone's crying in the background. It's a cold, brisk evening here in Indiana. And I thought I'd make a video. It's been a while since I've done a video. My last video was about the loss of a friend, I believe, a high school friend. And it was something that was kind of building up between everybody, really. I mean, I've lost multiple friends, old school friends, and it kind of just, I hold everything back for the most part for a while until it just comes pouring out. So I am in my 40s, almost 50s, and this empty lot is where a friend of mine's, an old high school friend of mine's, lived at growing up, in this corner. And we used to skate up and down this road all the time, and rollerblading and playing street hockey and doing all that sort of thing. And really, I guess my video is kind of about Adam the Woo, right? I talk about it at work a little bit, but no one knows who he was, so it's really hard to talk about somebody that I followed on YouTube quite a bit and lived through him on his travels amongst everywhere he's been. What can I say about Adam, really, other than he quit his job. He got tired of the 9-to-5, the rat race. He decided to just live life. And I think when a person does that, they reach the point of, they're like, the heck with it. I'm going to do what I want to do. And I don't care where that takes me. Which says a lot about a person's perspective. Some people may say, well, for you just to quit your job and do what you want to do, mental health wise, you must not have been very good. But I have to disagree. I think certain people, especially like Adam, they had a calling. My grandmother was big into faith and big into fate. I'm sure she was big into faith, especially towards the end. Here's I gotta clean this up. This is another piece of property that I own. We're thinking about putting a tiny house over here and selling our house here when we get back from our travels in February. And like I said, Adam was 51. He just recently died on the 22nd. Yeah, I watched his video, and then the next day I'm sitting in the tub getting ready for work, and I'm scrolling through YouTube videos, and I come across, or scrolling through Facebook rather, and I come across TMZ post that he passed, 51 years old, and to me that was an eye opener. Not everybody gets that, and it's okay. Everybody lives different lives. Everyone has different responsibilities, or what they feel like is their responsibility. Some people have grandchildren they can't leave. Some people have parents because they can't leave. My children, they're grown. They're going to be off to do their own thing now. My parents told me not to stay, or don't feel like I have to stay You know, because they they stayed because of their parents, and when their parents passed, now they're here and they're just to live life. You know, my parents taught me that way before Adam did, and you know, one time I wanted to ride a horse down the Oregon Trail, and my mother thought I was crazy. With my dad, he was like, "Oh, let him do it. You know, if that's what he wants to do." I'll never forget that. And you know, so we're going to sell our house eventually here this next year. 2026 is going to be different. 2025 was very depressing for me. I lost a lot of people that are very close to me, and I don't handle grief very well. So I deal with that in my own way. And I'm young still. I still have a lot of years in me, and I want to do it my way. That's the best way I could say it. Like Frank Sinatra said it, right? Do things my way. That's the way I want to do it. I want to do things my way. Will it be right? I'm going to hit rough patches. I'm going to hate life. Maybe it'll be rough, but it's what I'm doing. It's my decision. It's not through somebody else. And it's time. You know, I mean, people say that 50 years old is the middle age, is halfway through your life, but I have to disagree. Middle age is 40s, if not 30s, because most men these days may live to 70 and 80 years old, at least the area that I'm from. So I want to live the rest of my life doing things my way. And obviously I'm married, and it has to be my wife's way too. So I want to make sure that it's done her way as well. So every decision that we've done, like at one point we were going to sell our house, buy an RV, travel around through a group called 1,000 Islands or 1,000 Trails, and we were going to do it that way. And we thought, well, if our kids get in hard times, we don't want them to be cramped into the RV with us. So our best option is to sell our property, sell our home, find property elsewhere that's cheaper. And some of this land that we've been looking at is gridlocked, so we may have to get some legal things going in order to get access and everything like that. But to live the life that we want to live, and that's a very humble life. My wife and I, it's nice to do things. It's nice to go on cruises. It's nice to have nice clothes. It's nice to have nice cars, all this stuff. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not what's ever been important. We've been grateful. Our gratitude towards the things that we've had has been over the abundance of grateful. But it's not something that we're like, if we don't have, we're going to lose it. Right? Sorry, people's dogs are barking. So, I spent most of my life traveling, just like Adam did. And I didn't vlog it. Back then, I didn't have a cell phone or a camera. Never thought about it. I just lived it. Never knew Adam personally. I was down in Florida with my wife in Disney, and I remember trying to reach out to Adam through a video post or something. And I was like, hey, we're down here. I want to link up. I want to hook up and talk to you and just pick your brain. And so I'm not some crazy fan person, I'm just a normal person, just wanting to reach out to someone that is doing something that I find interesting. And I didn't know that he had crippling anxiety when it comes to talking to people, so that probably explains why he didn't really reach out to me, which is fine. I don't mind it, as long as they're not like coming to my house and wanting to sleep on my couch. I wouldn't mind, but I'm pretty sure my wife would lose her mind. I invited Flogging Molly, a band, to stay the night on my couch, and in return I get to stay on the night on their couch when I go to Ireland. One of their, I think it was their bass player, he found it funny. The rest of them are like, oh, it's kind of weird. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm just talking to be talking at this point, I think. I needed to get out for a minute. I'm dealing with work drama and dealing with losing friends, and still dealing with losing family, and then the passing of Adam. Like, I didn't know Adam personally. I just always watched. I made it a tradition of mine to just sit and watch his videos. A guy that I never knew, but I knew because I watched his videos. You get to know people when they talk about their life and they put their life out there. You get to know them. And so when he passed, it hurt. And I reached out to his mother and his father and his sister, and I sent my condolences, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I, not trying to sound crazy, when I had to do a little digging on who they were and where they were, all this. But that's kind of what Adam did, right? Like, in order to find these locations that he went to, he put a lot of work into it. He looked into them. He looked into it and to figure out where this was at, where that was at, and who these people are, and all this stuff. He did the. It's not an easy task, and I did it. And his dad reached out to me, and we've been sitting back and talking nonchalantly. He told me about an old video that Adam posted years ago, and I did, and it is a Halloween video or something, I think, but I don't know. It was nice. It was nice talking to him, and it was interesting to know that like anyone else, they're just people. They're just people living on this rock that we call a planet. So, again, I apologize for not posting anything for a while. I don't post a whole lot. I'm planning on posting more. We have 37-ish more days before we take off to New Orleans. And from New Orleans, we're going to be going to Costa Maya and Cozumel. Along our trip, besides having a good time, we're going to be discussing, my wife and I are going to be discussing our future. And that's selling our house, selling everything, becoming minimalist, starting over for the last half of our life. A lot of things pushed us towards this. Cost of living, cost of everything, dealing with a job constantly. Like Adam, one of the things about Adam is he talked about sitting in a parking spot in the parking lot of his job, and he just was dreading to go inside to work, and I felt that. I felt that so much, and I think we all did to some degree. No one likes to go to work. No one wants to spend their time slaving away for someone else to make profit while you barely get by. And that's what gained so much respect towards him from me, is he took risks and was successful at it. Does that mean that if I take risks, I would be successful, or you, or anyone else? I mean, that's what life is, right? I mean, every day is a risk. Going to work every day is a risk. Not knowing if you're going to wake up every day. I mean, I make it very crucial that my wife and I, we say we love each other before we go to sleep at night, because you don't know if you're going to wake the next day. And that's that. So life for us in 26 is going to change. And I think that it's needed. I think becoming minimalist and humbling ourselves, I believe, will draw us closer, not just to each other, but closer to God, closer to fate. You know, like I told you, my grandmother, she was big into fate. Not even a year, I guess it was, before Adam passed, he was talking about his life and everything. He got his life in order. I don't know if he knew something health-wise that no one else knows. No one knows, but he doesn't know if he's going to, he didn't know if he's going to live to be in his 90s and his 80s. He said 52. And a year later, he passed away at 51. And laying in bed, so he went to sleep, which is all we can ask for. So I'm putting myself out there, and we'll be doing so more often now. Hopefully not, about depressing stuff like this. Talking about stuff that all of us feel somewhat uncomfortable talking about. But when you get to your 40s and your 50s, it's not about just trying to survive and work at a job that you hate and eventually just die miserable. It's about living your life how you want to and doing it your way. So that's where I'm at. My father and I, we had a conversation, because like I said, I've been getting a lot of grief at work, politics and getting pushed out and all that. He's like, you're going to deal with that everywhere. Why don't you just leave? And that's kind of the census from everybody is, you're going to have that anywhere you go. That's just settling. That's no different than like the whole battered wife syndrome. It's like, I'm just going to take this abuse because I have nothing else better that will ever happen. And I disagree with that logic. And I feel like life is what you make it to be. So, like Adam the Woo, make it a good one.